Hello, what is going on, guys? My name is Coach Child Donkster Born, but built for Theme Park Newsroom. Finally, the final news update of today, in case Legoland California doesn't announce anything today, from Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey. Now, this is on their 2020 investment, and I think it's fair to say from the description, this is not going to be a Kiddieland expansion in Looney Tunes Seaport. I think there have been markers in Looney Tunes Seaport, but I personally believe that the new coaster could be in that Looney Tunes Seaport area. That looks a bit run down, so they could remove it all and put a coaster there. Or there have been talks of another. There was talks of another site where markers have been spotted. Now, the area where El Toro is, that is just maintenance. I think that's just site maintenance. So there's not going to be a coaster in that spot near El Toro. So I think Looney Tunes Seaport, with the markings that have been happening, there could be a new coaster to replace that kids area. Maybe in the future, Great Adventure will put in a new kids area somewhere else in the park. So we're going to go over, we're not going to talk about sites in this video, we're going to talk about the teaser that was released on their story. And someone actually sent me this first, and then I checked their story to see if it was definite, and it is definite. Not that I don't believe the guy that sent it to me, but I wanted to double check that this was an actual teaser from their story, and it was. I had to double check these things just to make sure they're definite. Don't want to make any mistakes with news updates or rumours or speculations or new teaser campaigns. So I double checked it, it's all good, and let's have a look at this teaser on your screen now. Fandom. Now the teaser reads as follows. A centuries-old legend of myth or reality features a villain of complex duality. Now, realise that they've put the C in yellow, the C of centuries and complex. Now, that tells to me centuries, the theme, complex, the coaster layout. Now, notice a word that wasn't sort of highlighted, but it could be a potential clue, and that is the word of complex duality. Now, that links to the word dualism or dual, so like an opposite of something. I did mention this to the guy that sent me the teasers, and they said, and to be fair, I found the definition of duality. So duality is an instance of an opposition or contrast between two concepts or two aspects of something, colon with a comma, a dualism, basically. So what I'm thinking is, going on the lines of the Rocky Mountain Construction single rail rumour that was coming out recently this week, I'm thinking this is going to be, not a T-Rex, but I'm thinking this will be the world's first dueling single rail coasters. World's first single rail dueling coasters. Or the world's first Mobius Loop single rail coaster. I'm thinking one of those two options. So basically, I'm thinking West Coast Racers, but as an RMC single rail, and maybe without a launch, just a lift hill instead. That's what I'm thinking here. And to be fair, looking at that Looney Tunes Seaport site, you can go and have a look for yourself at the site of Looney Tunes Seaport. If they plan to put a new sort of kids area in, like a Bugs Bunny Boomtown or a DC Super Friends or both in the future in different areas of the park, I am thinking that if they are planning to do that and they remove Looney Tunes Seaport for a coaster, I'm thinking that either a launch or a lift hill, a dueling or Mobius Loop single rail coaster like a West Coast Racers for RMC single rails will absolutely work in that site. It would work perfectly in that site. It's such a huge site, and I think if you close Looney Tunes Seaport sort of either after the summer holidays or just before Six Flags Fright Fest starts, obviously I'm still yet to hear any stuff from Fright Fest, but I'll have a look in the future and see if there's any stuff released from Fright Fest, and I'll do like a separate video on Six Flags Fright Fest. But I am excited to see if Looney Tunes Seaport is going to make way for a coaster and then have some kids areas pop up in the future for DC Super Friends and Bugs Bunny Boomtown. First of all, as a side note, why I'm saying Bugs Bunny Boomtown and DC Super Friends, that's the two kids areas that seem to be invested into the parks a lot more recently in the modern times, unless they go for something different and out of the blue for the first time. There's also Timbertown, but only Frontier City got that, and I think the other Timbertown before that was like a Timbertown sort of expansion in a way. With 2014, I think it was over Texas that got that. Or Fiesta Texas, either one of the two. So I think we're looking more likely in the future for a kids area for DC Super Friends or Bugs Bunny Boomtown, and that could be as early as 2021. That could be the year after. But I think 2020 it is going to be a coaster. Obviously, all of Six Flags is scheduled to announce on August 29th, so make sure you stay tuned, ready for that announcement. I can't wait for it, and I think it's going to be a fantastic announcement for the parks. I think this year is going to be the biggest year for Six Flags. Obviously, you've seen my final predictions. As much as I'm discussing other options, my final predictions aren't going to change. I'm not going to cheat my way out of the prediction system. I think next year I'm going to be releasing my prediction videos a lot later, so there's going to be one. So the final one's going to be like mid-August, where it usually is for other YouTubers. So I think next year I'm going to sort of put that mid-August instead of like start of August and July. So where I did it last time, where I did it this year. So yeah, I think I'm going to do them a little bit later next year, just to sort of go on the line with other YouTubers and wait for some more stuff to come out. But I am excited to see what Great Adventure is going to add. But I'm thinking now, I mean, my prediction was a ground up RMC near El Toro. That prediction's completely gone out of the window, so that's one I've got wrong at least. I think I've got a couple wrong at the minute. I think there's a couple that I've got wrong, so very interesting. I never get these predictions right anyway, but I am thinking that prediction's out the window, and we're looking at something along the lines of a single rail or some kind of single rail for Great Adventure. Wherever it is, we don't know, but I'll keep an eye out at the surroundings of each new attractions at all the Six Flags parks, see where it's going to be located. And we're just going to see what happens, really. So, thank you very much for watching the final, what could be the final, depending on Legoland California, Theme Park Newsroom update from Six Flags Great Adventure. So make sure you stay tuned throughout the rest of the day. If there is any news updates from Legoland California, I'll bring it to you today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a YouTube video. And for now, guys, my name is Coast Chad, YouTube channel, Bob, built for Theme Park News. Keep living the coast life, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day, my friends.